So yes, so a lot of you guys on here are seasoned coaches or coaches that have been running challenge groups or been in challenge groups. But we have so many new coaches on our teams that I just wanted to do kind of a quick recap of challenge groups, because they really are the basis of our business, and also how I run them, how I schedule them, and then at the end give you guys a chance to talk about what you found most successful for you and your challenge groups and your challengers. So, all right. So yes, just challenge group basics. And again, you guys, some of you have been running challenge groups for a year now. So just like me. So I really, want everyone's opinions kind of at the end and everyone's experience. So what is a challenge group? Some coaches have joined the team this last month, which is super exciting, actually decided to join without ever really joining a challenge group. So, a challenge group is just, for me, I think of it as a group where we're providing support, tips, and tools just to ensure our challengers' success. I think that's the big difference between Beachbody and a gym membership, is that we're there for our challengers every step of the way, every question. And just when you have those cheat meals and fall down flat on your face, it's just nice to have someone say, it's okay, let's start over again tomorrow. So, the length of a challenge group really can vary. I usually run 21-day or 30-day. The majority of my challengers are doing 21-day fix. So if I have an entire group full of 21-day fix, I just make it a 21-day challenge group, because I find that after those 21 days, people kind of drop off. And that 21 days, I do a 7-day preseason before it to kind of get everyone prepped. So it's really a week preseason, and then you have your 3 weeks of 21-day fix. 30 days, again, I do that if it's like a hammer and chisel group. I do not run 60-day groups because, once again, I find that people kind of start falling off. So if people want to join my next group after the initial 30 days, great. And so many people continue in on groups. But sometimes I feel like 60-day groups are too long. I know Beachbody used to do 90-day groups when they first introduced the Coach Network, and that just didn't work. So, if you want to do a 60-day group, great, especially if there's a new program like Hammer and Chisel release and you've got people who are like, I'm in it for the full 60 days. Awesome. For me, 21 or 30-day groups have worked the best. And I mentioned it can be focused on one program, like the 21-day fix, or it can be, I pretty much open my groups up to everyone and just see what happens. Again, when I'm talking to my customers, I'm mainly talking about the 21-day fix because that's where I've had huge success. But for people who have had injuries or, they do a lot of running, of course, PiYo is awesome. For my guys, Body Beast and P90X3. And now with Hammer and Chisel, I'm talking a lot more about that one as well. So that one's kind of getting mixed in there. Can be run by one coach or several coaches. So you guys know that I run a new group every month, and anyone on the team is welcome to join that challenge group and run it with me. I talk about, being an apprentice coach, and really that just means that you're in there and responsible for your challengers. So I'll do the daily post and, the posts that kind of help interaction, but I want you, checking in with your challengers. You should be posting your sweaty selfies and your food and commenting on your challengers' post as well. So that's really what it means to be an apprentice coach. Really, I just want you in there checking on your challengers and helping me to kind of keep up with everyone. And then, I do open a new group every month. So even if I'm doing a 60-day group or a 30-day group, because I do the 30-day groups with a 7-day preseason, so it runs over into the next month, I'm always opening a new group. And that is crucial for Success Club and to continue building your business. So we talked about, I post my schedule on our team page, but the third Monday of every month is when I start my preseason. That changed a little at the end of the year just because of holidays, but from now until November or December, the third Monday of every month is when I start my preseason without fail. It gives me 2 months to recruit, 2 weeks to recruit challengers for my group and put them in there. But again, we talk about Success Club being the basis of our business, and that ensures I'm hitting Success Club early in the month and getting a new group running and supporting new people every month. So I guess I could actually put this in presentation mode, huh, guys? Challenge group content. So the first thing, when you're running a challenge group, the most important thing you're going to do is post that call to action or helpful tip every morning. So for me, I post at 5 a.m. East Coast time every single morning. So my challengers wake up, they literally look at their phones, and the post is there. And it's already motivating them. And unless they're working out at 4 a.m., which I know some people are, but I feel like 5 a.m. is early enough. But it motivates people to get moving and to remember, like, oh, I'm doing this challenge. So I think posting in the morning, it doesn't have to be as early as 5 a.m., but posting in the morning is important to get people motivated. And the call to action or tips, just depends. The call to action really helps to get people engaged in the group. And then you're going to be checking in with your challengers throughout the day as they're posting sweaty selfies and food and questions. You're just checking in with them. So the challenge group post, this image on the right-hand side is a picture from our actual team website. And all of these in green are actual links that you can click that will open up example posts from other coach. So Lindsay Matway, this is 12 weeks worth of posts. She did a 12-week group. And these are all her posts. Team Fit and Fierce is another top team. These are her 30-day posts. Dara's 30-day post. There's 8 weeks, 4 weeks, 21 weeks, 21-day fix specifically challenge group posts. So, go in there and find the posts that kind of resonate with you and use those for your first challenge group. I think the last thing I want is anyone really recreating the wheel. So, they're all there for you on the team website. The important thing is to make sure that whether you're scheduling them or just posting them when you wake up in the morning, to get one posted every single day, to check in with your challengers throughout the day, and to be active yourself in the group. Post your sweaty selfies, post your workout, post your healthy meals. The more engaged you are, the more engaged your challengers will be. So for me, because I schedule at 5 a.m. East Coast time, which is 2 a.m. here, I am not up at 2 a.m. posting to Facebook. So I schedule all my posts, and I schedule using Buffer. I do pay for Buffer. So this is Buffer here on the right-hand side. These are all of my accounts. And because I have the blog, I'm scheduling for Twitter, I'm scheduling our Facebook page, our Google Plus page, and then these are different groups that I'm running or have run. So these are, my challenge groups, training groups, past training groups, free groups. And what I really like about Buffer, and again, I pay $10 a month, and so I think I can have like 10 different accounts on here. The Buffer makes it really easy for me to just pull one post from an old post to a new one. So old group to new group. So this is my December group. All my posts that I did are saved in there, and I can just click rebuffer. I would not suggest using Buffer free version. I would suggest using Hootsuite. So the free version of Buffer automatically connects your personal profile. It can get confusing having to disconnect your personal profile and put in a group. I think you only get one or two. It's a really small number, and I don't think it's worthwhile. Hootsuite lets you do 3 groups, and so that's what I used in the beginning to do it for free. So here's my Buffer. This is exactly what my Buffer looks like. So if I go back to my that's new coach training. So here's a group that's finished. So you can see there's absolutely nothing scheduled. But if I go back in the analytics, I can see all my old posts. So I can literally scroll down, and if I want to do the exact same post, I can do them. So here's my day 8. So I click rebuffer, and then you can choose what group that you want to post to. These are all the groups that you've connected. So if I want to post to my new group, I just select my new group and then schedule it. Pick the date and time I want to schedule it. So it makes it really easy to go back through and just reschedule all my old posts from last month's group to my new group. So here's like this is my group I currently have. Tomorrow's day 11. So you can see that I've already scheduled all these posts. So I don't need to worry about it. I've scheduled through to, I think I scheduled this. Okay, no, maybe I did. I think I scheduled this entire group. I scheduled through to day 30 and we're on day 11 tomorrow. So I do not have to worry about posting for the rest of the time, for the rest of the group. Of course, I'm going to get on, post my sweaty selfies. I'll be checking in with all the challengers, but I don't have to worry about this anymore. So that's one way that I save myself kind of time during the week. And I do that on the weekend. So we'll have another call kind of about scheduling and time management. But for me, when I was working, I didn't have a lot of time. So I was trying to do 1 to 2 hours a night of work during the weekday, and on weekends get up early and do stuff like this and schedule it. So it allowed me during the week just to do invites, and on weekends to schedule things like this.
So Holly, real quick, sorry. With Buffer, since I've used the free version of Hootsuite, but when you pay for it, you're allowed 10 groups to link to?
3, 4, 5,
or whatever.
8, 9. Yeah, I've got 10 on there. So I think you can link to 10 different groups. Yeah.
So when you rebuffer, so like you rebuffered from December to January.
Yep.
You then just go in and like delete your December group?
Yeah. So once I've rebuffered once, I'll just go in and delete that group. Just like in Hootsuite. Yeah. But I always keep like an old one. So some of these, like for this, like this was like coach training, like an old coach training. This is like a diamond group that I did, like a 24-day diamond group that I did in September. Right?
So you try and keep like at least one of all your different types of groups in. So okay.
Exactly.
When you go to rebuffer, can you modify the post before like if you want to change the verbiage or
you just click in there and you can change it. So so for my like day 1, it's like welcome to this group, and I always go in and change that.
Whatever group it is.
Yeah, exactly. And then and sometimes I don't even like I reuse some of them, but not others. So I try to like mix it up because I know challengers will be like coming from different groups, but it definitely makes it faster, especially if I'm just like, this is a crazy month, like it's just going to be the same. It makes it really fast. So and there's all kinds of stuff that you can like insights and like, but for me, I mean, the content tab is where, you have your new posts scheduled, and analytics are your old ones. And it will tell you top posts. You can see all your comments from people as well in there. So you can actually, if you don't want to like go to Facebook and go in all your different groups, you can just go in here and like comment on posts that you've already done based on other people's comments. I don't normally do that because I'm just on Facebook all the time, but that is one option.
Although that's good if you don't want to get distracted on Facebook.
Right. Exactly.
During work hours, you could just work from Buffer and not end up scrolling through.
Exactly.
That's a really good point.
That's very.
I have problems with that.
Maybe I should do that more often. Actually, that's really smart because once you start scrolling, you just get lost. So and I like that this also keeps my images in there, because sometimes when I'm copying and pasting from like a Word document or something, it's like a pain to get the images back in there. So that saves me time as well. But for those of you, so it's like, I mean, I think I paid for the full year up front, which was like $120. So it was like $10 a month. It might be $11 a month if you don't pay for the whole year up front. So it's not a huge investment, but there is also Hootsuite. Like Melissa said, that's what she uses. And so it is free. So this, and I have not used this. This is Thanksgiving of 2014. Okay. So it's been a while since I used this because I
was in that one, I think.
Yeah, you definitely probably were. So this is an old one, but this is like what I still had in there. So you'll see your timeline, and you can go in here, and this is where you can add groups, add social network, and then you can just connect your groups from here. So
one thing I'll say about Hootsuite though is you can only have 3 groups linked at a time. So I've actually stopped using it because of that, because it was more of a pain to have to figure out like.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of the same thing with Buffer, right? Like it's Hootsuite. I think if you pay for it, you're going to get to use, you're going to be able to add more streams. It's going to be more useful, that type of thing. But at the same time, you know, I did use it in the beginning. If you just have like one challenge group going on, then, and you're only scheduling for one and you're not scheduling for a bunch of free groups and for trainings and stuff, you know, having that one place where you can schedule, it is nice. So they're both good. You know, Hootsuite, your ad social network, it'll add it here. And then you just compose your message up here and choose where you want it to go. And you can do send now or you can schedule it. So, and again, like Melissa said, she used this and now she doesn't. So, you know, you have to figure out kind of what works for you. And Hootsuite, I think, also now connects to Hootsuite and Buffer now connect to Instagram. So, you know, as you get further along in your business and you want your, you know, have more social networks to post to, maybe they'll be helpful, you know, maybe they won't. You've got to kind of try it. But for me, Buffer's great because I schedule everything on the weekends and I schedule, you know, all my training, like this is all the content for the new coach training. That's all scheduled. All my groups get scheduled on weekends because it would just be too overwhelming for me to try to do it during the week. So, and then also, you know, I've got my blog. So my blog posts are now scheduled. So that makes that easier. I don't use it for Instagram, but I guess I could if I wanted. So that's, you know, for me, scheduling my post works for my like time management and my like getting up on weekends, getting work done before like David wakes up and he doesn't even like know what I'm doing, and then we can have a normal weekend. So that's kind of how I schedule all my posts. We've talked a little bit about this, keeping your challengers engaged. So I found that on day one, asking for that like sweaty selfie has really been helpful because people are like super ready to start. They're really like all gung-ho about this. And so they're less scared to post that sweaty selfie. And then it also seems to get them in the habit of like posting sweaty selfies. And so that's great because the more photos you get, the more engagement you're getting. It's not just like a comment on a post. Really having like that wall full of photos is, I found for me that's when I can really tell that my challengers are engaged. So I continue after day one posting my sweaty selfies. And so I'd say do the same, you know, your sweaty selfies or your workouts or you with Shakeology, something to start the morning with a photo to remind them, you know, to post theirs as well and to stay engaged. Each week I have a photo call to action. So that first week is sweaty selfies. I'll do meals, you know, post your healthy meals throughout the day. Water is not as exciting to people, you know, show me your water bottle and like how much water you're drinking. Sometimes I have great luck with asking people to post a picture of the friends and family that like you're doing this for. So you're doing this for your kids, or you're doing this to like inspire your best friend, or you're doing this to help like your mom get healthy. And when people start posting those photos, because it's like, it's real, like, and that's raw and like why you're doing it, it's awesome. Sometimes it's too real and people don't feel comfortable doing it. So that's kind of like a hit or miss for me. But I feel like when I post one and I get really real, it works really well. And a similar one is images of like their inspirations. So sometimes I say, you know, it can be an inspiring image from Pinterest, or it can be your child or your mom or whatever. And so you kind of get a mix of that. So those are just some examples of me trying to get people to post photos in the challenge group to keep them engaged. So it's not just a big wall of words. I also reach out privately to those not engaging. So you can search in the group. There's like a search feature up in the top right-hand corner, and you can search people's names, and all the posts that they've been posting will come up, and you can see like the last time they posted, the last time they were engaged. So I use that if I don't know. Most of the time you know who's not staying engaged. And I don't really like call them out. I'm just, you know, I'm like, hey, so glad to have you in this challenge group. how are things going? You know, how is this first week gone for you? And just see what they say. And most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This week was crazy. And they kind of they know why you're contacting them, and really just contacting them to help them and make sure they're getting the support they need. And sometimes I have people who are like, you know, engaging in the group isn't for me, but like I'm getting so much out of it from reading the engagement of others. And so that's great as well. I just want to make sure they're getting what they need from me. You know, $140, like $200 for a challenge pack is a lot. And so I just want to we just want to make sure we're supporting our challengers in every way possible. And the other thing that I've done in the past, and I know other coaches do, is to hold a 1-week contest, usually like on maybe like week 3 of the challenge group. And so you do this on like a point system. So you get points for every sweaty selfie you post, for every picture of a meal, for any time you like post your workout publicly on your Facebook page, or like tag me in something, you know, mentioning the challenge. So there's all different ways to get points. And then at the end of the week, I ask the challengers to add up their own points, because it's crazy when you're trying to add up everyone's points, and say, send me your point total. And then I'll give them things like, I don't know, samples of Shakeology, or extra shaker cups, or, you know, a Fixate cookbook. Sometimes the contest works super well and people are like, really want the prizes. And other times it's kind of like, if you've already lost engagement in the group, you know, you've lost engagement and it doesn't work as well. But that is one way to kind of up engagement and get people excited. I think I did it for like 2 to 3 months and then stopped, because again, I felt like if people were already engaged, great. And I really need the contest. And if they weren't engaged, the contest didn't make that big of a difference. So, but it is fun. And, you know, people like getting prizes, especially when it's a super engaged group, they make it is fun. And if you've got some extra Shakeology, it's not a bad thing to send out either. And then, you know, turn your challengers into coaches. So we talk about supporting our challengers, making sure we have the best challenge group possible. Your most successful challengers are going to be your most successful coaches. The people who love these products, who believe in them, whose lives have been changed by them, are the people that are going to make fantastic coaches, because they're not going to be afraid to share their journey. They want to share their journey. Their lives have changed. They want others to feel that good. So during week 2 of the group, I private message my potential coach candidate. Those are people who have like been super, super engaged. And actually in my challenge group I have going on right now, I had someone who on day 2 I messaged. I was like, you are ridiculous. I mean, she was posting like vision boards in the challenge group. I was like, you're a coach. Like, I just knew. And she wants to coach. So private message your coach candidate. Let me, there's some noise. And then also during week 2, normally for me it's on day 12, I post to the group the discount. So in the post, I will say, your Shakeology is automatically going to renew, and then I'll post one of these 2 images, or both. So the top one just is a cost comparison. The bottom one gives them similar information, just in a different format. All right, there we go. Sorry. Okay, so again, this is just how I have found that I've gotten my most successful coaches is by turning my challengers into coaches, talking to them in week 2, because I can kind of get the feel of things in week 1. And then also doing this kind of public post. And this public post is not where I'm getting my business builders. This is where I'm getting people who just want the discount on Shakeology. So my business building coaches are coming from private messaging. And don't be afraid to private message. Just make it as simple as, your posts have been incredible. You're inspiring other people in the group. You're already doing what a coach does. Why don't you make money doing it? And that's it. Like, I think you're incredible, and I think you make an incredible coach. And it feels weird in the beginning, and we get so nervous about inviting people to coaching. We're literally giving them a compliment. We're saying, you're a rock star in this group and would make a great coach. Like, there's nothing bad about what we're asking them to do. You know, like, are you interested in coaching? So, you know, don't get scared by that. Our own mental blocks sometimes block us from reaching out to people about coaching. And really, that's it. Your business depends on the success of your challenge groups. And I truly believe that. Even if you're not, you know, recruiting 1 million coaches out of challenge groups, your business and people coming back to you and drinking residual Shakeology, that all depends on the success of your challenge groups. If your challengers are successful, they're going to continue drinking Shakeology. They're going to share their successes with others. And even if they don't become a coach, they're going to then be giving you referrals. So, you know, just keep that in mind, because I think sometimes, and I even noticed, you know, like my trainings at the end of last year were getting away from some of the basics and into more of the business side of Beachbody. And I think if we all just focus on having successful challenge groups, you know, and that goes down to you need to hit Success Club. And in the new coach training, Megan made a really good point. And she said her first month, she's kind of afraid to push the challenge group. So she was just letting people in who kind of had the programs and didn't want to buy Shakeology, and they're just not as invested. And people are going to take as much free stuff as you give them, right? So if you're like, oh, here's all my information for free, of course they're going to take it. So but you know, they may not be as devoted to the programs. And so for me, I have found my most successful challengers drink Shakeology and buy the challenge packs because they are 100% in, because they just spent $140 on a challenge pack, and this better work because they just spent all this money, right? That's the mentality. So don't be afraid to make buying a challenge pack a requirement. You are only helping them. And then everyone in that challenge group is in it 100%. They've got a program, they've got Shakeology, they've got the financial commitment, and mentally they are there and ready to make it work. So what I want to do now is, you know, let you guys kind of talk. So for those of you coaches who have, you know, had great success in your groups, what's worked for you guys? So where are you guys seeing your best successes in your challenge groups, whether just in terms of challenge or interaction or coaches?
Wait, what was the question?
No one had a good challenge group. So Jamie, what have you found that make your most successful challenge groups, where you have had the most interaction? What has made them the most successful? What do you think you've done to drive engagement in those groups?
I think when I post more in the groups, when I post my workout, what I'm doing, they just follow along and do what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you schedule your posts, or do you post them like every morning when you wake up?
You're going to laugh at when I post. So, okay, I tried Buffer in the spring and I didn't understand it, and it was like a bad experience. Yeah. The free one, not the paid one, the free one.
Yeah, and the free one is difficult.
Yeah, and so I'm like technologically impaired and I don't know how to do these things. So here's what I do. I wake up super early anyway because I have to, because work starts early. And so I let the dogs out. Oh, wait, hold on, back up. I have all of my posts in a Google Doc open in a tab on my computer at all times. So like New Year Best You is open constantly. Free group, whatever the heck I called it on my Google, is open all the time. So I let the dogs out. I come down, I open it, I highlight it, I post it in the group. And then when I have pictures, I have in bold what the picture is. And then they're all saved in my challenge group folder or my free group folder. So I find the picture, post it. The dogs are at the door. Done. Go let the dogs in, and then I go down and work out. Oh, why? And then I'm drinking my Energize. So by the time all this is done, I'm like, work out. And then if I don't work out, then I do the dishes or fold the laundry, or whatever the heck I do in the morning. That's how
But you get up early enough in the morning and you are posting first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So I'm posting first thing in the morning. It is not the most time efficient way. And now that you're talking about it's 10, I really just need to get the $10 one. I'm going to do it. I'm just afraid that I'm not going to understand it. And it's so depressing when I don't understand things.
Well, we'll do a Zoom call and like, I'll share my screen.
Please do. I need that too.
So that's what I've been doing since April.
Okay. Well, I mean,
seriously, I wake up and I do
the same thing, Jamie.
Do you? I mean, I know it's such a dumb thing to do, but it's
well, I was using Hootsuite and it was only giving me 3 groups. And so in order to delete it off of Hootsuite, you have to actually like go into Facebook, delete every single person off the group.
Oh, right, yeah.
Then delete the group to get it unhooked to your Hootsuite so that you can start a new group.
Yeah. And it takes less time to just post each day.
So when I was using Hootsuite, like at the beginning, it was great. Like my first challenge group, it was great. I was able to take like an hour and a half and schedule everything. And it really, I think at the beginning was perfect because it took all that pressure off of me for that first challenge group. Because when you run that first challenge group, you're all nervous and what if you post something wrong? And like I was able to like proofread what I wrote. And now it's like if there's a typo, I'm like, oh, thanks autocorrect. And like I don't even care about it anymore. But yeah, so it became like a really big hassle when then I started running like a second challenge group that might have overlapped a little bit with the first one. And then a free group. I was now out the 3 groups that I was allowed. And so it got really annoying. And so I was like, well, I have my posts that I use most of the time. If I want to add something, I'll like just type it in and add something else. But yeah, so I have my documents are just on my desktop. And so I can just open them, copy, paste, and stick them in there. And then sometimes I'll use like a new picture or sometimes I'll use a picture. Like I have a folder on my desktop called quotes. And so I'll go in there and I'll like find one that I like and like swap it over. Or like the Shakeology comparison chart. Like that's one that I constantly use. But because it's on a document, I can't like take from the document and paste it into Facebook. You actually like have to upload the image. So that's annoying. But that's how I've been doing my groups too. So Buffer sounds like a great thing. It's just, I have so many programs right now that I am like $10 for this and $10 a month for that. And it's just, just haven't moved over there yet. But
no, I mean, it's definitely about finding like what works for you, right? So you guys have run successful challenge groups and
it does get annoying though, like because I started the January whatever the heck date it was right after the new year, and then that overlapped with my third Monday group. So then I was like in the same, because it's the same group, it just was 2 weeks behind.
Right.
So I had to scroll back up like, okay, these guys are on day 2 of preseason, but these guys are on like day 2 of week 3 or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
It does get annoying, and I know that it's not the smartest way.
I think time-wise, like time efficiency, like, you know, when the kids are sick, you know, like Tommy threw up in his bed over last week. Like I was washing sheets and taking care of a sick kid. And then it was like, oh crap, I didn't post challenge group. So like that can get a little hairy during those kinds of situations.
And then it's more pressure because on the weekend you're like,
what do you do on vacation? Like, what do you do when you're on vacation?
Same thing. I just woke up right away. I mean, my brain, I kind of just wake up early anyway. So I would just wake up, post, and then just lay back down.
See, when I was on vacation was when I was
always.
No,
I wasn't.
Yeah, over the summer for my vacation, I was using Hootsuite, but also I felt like over the summer, the best challenge group I had was the challenge group I had over vacation. Like that was my best month in Beachbody was my month that I was on vacation. I sold the most challenge packs and like had the best challenge group that month. But I think too was because I was so active in posting.
That's the thing.
Because it was like I'm out and I'm on the beach and look, I'm working, or I'm out and I'm on the beach and I'm drinking my shake, or I'm doing, I was doing PIO workouts on Beachbody On Demand during the kids' swim lessons. So it was like a constant, like there was something constantly to post to the group. Mm-hmm. So I think that, brings up a valid point too, is like the more engaged you are, the more engaged the group is going to be. And I know these last couple of months have been hard because we've all been busy with the holidays and all that stuff. So I know I've slacked off in posting myself in the group. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's my same experience. Is the more I post and the more I try to get engaged with people, the better the groups are. Also, if you guys are like running your first group and it seems like really quiet and you're like the only one posting, just like add another coach from the team. Add another coach, because like it's awesome. And I will say, I really think that has helped my groups. Is I have awesome coaches. Like Amanda is always like awesome, like Amanda and Jackie, like posting in my groups, and it's amazing. And so people see those posts and they post more, and it's not just me, and they don't know who coaches are. They don't know like this person applying coach.
I was gonna say they don't know that I'm on your team and that I'm also a Beachbody coach. They just think I'm this crazy person that takes videos of my workouts every morning, So it's, but I'm the same. Like I've always had more success when I have a coach on in my group, because then we can kind of like play off of each other and like each other's posts and then comment on pictures, and so it gets the ball rolling. Yes. And then people aren't as nervous or scared to like actually come out of their shell and say stuff.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. So don't.
I'm weird. Like the first challenge group I had, I used Hootsuite, and I liked using it. I mean, for the first group, it worked really, really well. But then the more challenge groups I did, I found that I wasn't as engaged if I was letting the program post for me. So I just stopped using it, and now I'm like Jamie, and I wake up in the morning, and if my post doesn't make it until 10 o'clock in the morning,
right,
so be it. Yeah. But I feel like I'm more engaged if I'm doing it real time than if I'm letting it do it for. So I don't know. I think it's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, for me, I have to make sure I get in there and post like my sweaty selfie or whatever first thing in the morning, so I feel that I'm starting to engage as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like for you, like you said, like when they're up and working out, it's 2 a.m. your time. You're not posting at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Holly, do you remember when I thought you woke up?
Jamie, you are not the only one. People still think I'm posting at 2 a.m. Like, people still think I get up and I'm posting.
I really thought
I did
you were so dedicated to your job that you set an alarm and you woke up and you posted and then you went back to bed.
I'm working out with you.
No.
Now maybe in several months we'll all really think that, because you'll be up nursing or feeding the baby.
Exactly.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That's exactly right. I will be checking in with challengers at 2 a.m.
Yep.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my gosh, Holly loves this job.
Yeah.
No, there's another question. So my friend Rhonda, she does Jamberry, but it's kind of the same concept. I mean, it's network marketing and stuff like that. And she uses, because you can tell when people post with something because it says
right.
She uses Tiny Torch, and I haven't looked into it. I don't know anything about it, but she does like Jamberry has all these games that you play like during the parties online or whatever, and she plans everything out and can post like pick what time things post. I was gonna look at that one too and see.
Yeah, I don't love Hootsuite. It's okay. It seems cumbersome to me. I'm not a huge Hootsuite fan, which is why I switched to the Buffer. But like Jamie said, Buffer is confusing, the free version, because they let you have so few groups and you have to connect and disconnect things, so it's very confusing. So I'm warning you about that I wouldn't try Buffer for free. I just go with the Hootsuite one, or try Tiny Torch and see how that works. And do you guys who have been running challenge groups, have you found that you're finding some of your best coaches from your challenge groups, or are you finding coaches other ways?
Challenge groups.
Challenge groups. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are from other ways. I have like my like top coaches right now are one signed up, but she was never active on Facebook in a group. And then the other ones reached out to me in the beginning. So
like your public public Facebook post?
Public Facebook post, or like a private message like, hey, you'd be great. And I got a no. And then a few months later it was, I want to do this now.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. Anything else? Wow, it's 8:45 or 9:40. What time is it? 9:45.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
I know that somebody posted on the training thing, and I think y'all mentioned it earlier about not having people in the groups that didn't actually buy product, that are just saying, "Hey, I want to do it for the regular challenges." So how does that? How do you do that if somebody gets Shakeology or gets the 21-day fix challenge pack and is on Shakeology recurring, and they want to be, but they don't want to buy another challenge pack, but they just want to Shakeology.
Yeah.
You just add them to whatever group.
Yeah. So I just make sure they buy the challenge pack in the beginning, and then after that, they just need Shakeology because it's
like I have a couple people that already have Shakeology, but they didn't have a coach, and so they're switching to me. And then my first customer already purchased tonight. So
awesome!
I just became a coach like Sunday night. So
that's amazing. Yeah, congrats. Yeah, definitely have them switch to you as a coach, and then if they're drinking Shakeology, just that's why I tell when people ask me what's required for a challenge group, I say 3 things. 1, I have to be your coach. 2, you have to have a Beachbody program, and 3, you have to be drinking Shakeology. So it's not necessarily you must buy a challenge pack, but you need all 3 of those things. So that's what I tell people that they need. So, and then if they don't want to buy it, that's why I run the free groups, so that I don't feel like I'm like, well, you're not buying a challenge pack, you're not buying Shakeology, forget you. I'm like, well, since this doesn't work for you right now, I am running a free group. Would you like to be a part of it? And at least then it feels like we're offering them something.
And then when you do the group, like I know you saw what I did today. I had the fit for his glory.
Yeah.
And then what I was kind of thinking to do is, hopefully my first one will go well, and then the next one I haven't. I'll add you to the group, but I'm getting it started. I've got like the banner. It's kind of shoes and has font graphics on it. I had to get my cousin to help me. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And so I was kind of thinking like the next challenge I would use kind of the same format, but then have a different theme instead of it being still be fit for his glory, but like do a specific theme. This would be kind of like my coming out challenge, and the next one do something, but still having it focused on doing like the devotions and with it, because I feel like my target audience on my friends list would appreciate the kind of added bonus.
Yeah. No, I mean that's perfect. So in some past trainings I've done, and I know some other coaches on here do it as well, every month just have like a new theme. So for me, like this month is all about like loving your body, right? Kind of doing the Valentine's Day, like love your body, love yourself, embrace that. March, I don't know, maybe it's like get ready for spring. I don't know, but I have a whole plan so that every month I have like this new theme that month kind of revolves around. And like you said, inside the actual challenge group is very similar, but it's kind of a new marketing plan. It's new images for people to see, new kind of theme to focus on. So yes, that sounds perfect.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. When I tailored my mom's group, challenge group, I think that was one of my best challenge groups too, because it was more tailored to like a specific group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So
the devotional is good.
Yeah, especially that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, and I think it's great to like know your market, right? Like to go in knowing your market, because that's something like I struggled with. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be like pregnant, to be able to like focus on pregnant people, and then afterwards be able to focus on moms, because like I couldn't do that before. And like that's such a huge like easy market to define instead of like young working professionals. Like that's hard. Like that was much harder. So
and how far along are you?
I'll be 19 weeks this weekend.
I'll have to show you a picture of me at 19 weeks. I was way bigger than you are now. That little baby bump is nothing. Like a peanut bump.
Well, I feel wide, but yeah, not cute bump. So I'm waiting. But yeah. Knowing your market is awesome too. And yeah, I think that's a really good point to bring up in challenge groups too. Having a theme is awesome and knowing what you're focusing on. So, any other questions, comments? Great stuff.